Hello there. Things are hotting up with Brexit as the deadline of the EU Council meeting on Thursday approaches. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back daily. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. Despite talk earlier this month that Boris Johnson had agreed to extend the Brexit negotiations beyond a previously stated deadline of this Thursday the 15th of October, it seems that this might be crunch time. The UK wants to get a straightforward trade deal along the lines that the EU has with Canada, the so-called Canada Plus Plus deal. But Brussels is insisting on all sorts of strings being attached due to the proximity of the UK to the EU. Brussels does not want a competing economic powerhouse on its doorstep, unless it can control it. So the EU is insisting on controlling UK state aid, governance of any agreement, and also has the cheek to demand we basically hand over our fishing grounds to EU trawlers. And it's that last demand of theirs that is really causing some bother. Although many people consider fishing to be of minor economic importance to both sides, it carries with it much political weight because of the issue of territorial seas. With the French Minister of the Sea, Annick Girardin, telling the French weekly newspaper JDD, "So far the UK has made unacceptable proposals. Fishermen would rather have no agreement than a bad agreement, and they're not wrong." Well, either way, they're losing their automatic, no questions asked access to UK waters. The French Minister of the Sea continued, "We have laid out red lines, access to fishing grounds, quotas, and the species that we fish today. Europeans must preserve their resources and their access." Their resources and their access. UK waters have been plundered and stripped for far too long. Time to take on the style of agreement that Norway has with the EU and allocate quotas annually as required. She also said, "We're preparing for all eventualities and therefore also for a no deal. France is preparing to support its fisheries and the entire industry. European tools will have to be put in place for this." Well, they have had 4 years to prepare for the possibility of no deal and losing all access to UK fish, have they not? And I do remember reading that the EU had put money aside in their new budget to compensate EU fishing communities in this eventuality. And while on the possibility of an actual Brexit deal, Reuters reports that the French President Emmanuel Macron and other unnamed EU leaders are insisting that any Brexit agreement includes harsh enforcement measures to punish the UK hard for any infractions of the level playing field. Sounds like a good argument for not setting foot on their dodgy level playing field to me, doesn't it? But it also says, France and other fishing nations in the EU will emphasise their determination to preserve quota rights in British waters, leaving Barnier with limited space to tease out a deal, the newspaper reported. More cheek. Quota rights, eh? They do like to lord it over us, don't they? I'm assuming this means that the so-called coastal 8 EU member states are trying to pressure Brussels to play hard with fishing in any Brexit agreement. But every time they're allowed to fish in our waters should be considered a privilege, not a right. And as the Times points out, the common fisheries policy gives the lion's share of fishing rights in UK waters to European boats, which catch more than half the fish and shellfish in Britain's exclusive economic zone. Time for the UK to take back control, don't you think? However, Boris had a conversation with President Macron yesterday and told him that he would have to water down French fishing demands or see the UK walk away on a no-deal Brexit basis. And that's when France then came back with its own threat to force a no deal. However, I'm wondering how the other member states that do not have powerful fishing lobbies to contend with will be viewing this hardline French talk over fisheries. They might be more interested in other aspects of any deal. The Express reports that Boris also talked to the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, over the weekend. And it quotes a Downing Street spokesperson as saying, "He outlined the current situation with respect to negotiations on the future relationship between the UK and the EU, emphasising the UK's desire to reach an agreement. The Prime Minister stressed that while achieving a deal in the coming days would be beneficial for both sides, the UK was also prepared to end the transition period on Australia-style terms if a deal was not possible. The Prime Minister emphasised that progress must be made in the coming days to bridge the significant gaps, in particular in the areas of fisheries and the level playing field, through the process of intensive talks between chief negotiators." It also talks about a French fishing vessel captain saying that the UK can't just click its fingers and force EU trawlers out, and that if we did, there'd be naval battles. Now, I've got to say that looking at how these talks have progressed, both sides are now well and truly painted into their respective corners. Neither has any room to manoeuvre without totally losing their credibility, even if both gave ground equally, something I cannot see the EU27 doing, and something that Boris cannot politically afford to do at all. And with just a couple of days left until the EU Council meeting on Thursday, no-deal Brexit looks more and more favourite. And that would suit the pure Brexiteers very nicely indeed. And if that happens, I would reckon that work on future talks over the next 10 weeks or so before Christmas will be based on setting up small temporary agreements to deal with any problems a WTO exit would entail. And one of them will be deciding the first set of annual quotas for EU fishing vessels, unless they want to play hardball with other issues, of course. But under the EU treaties, Brussels is duty-bound to play nice with neighbouring non-member states. Article 8 of the Lisbon Treaty says, "The Union shall develop a special relationship with neighbouring countries, aiming to establish an area of prosperity and good neighbourliness, founded on the values of the Union and characterised by close and peaceful relations based on cooperation." They have to be nice to us. In fact, with the deal that they want to stitch us up with, the EU27 could do what they want. But with no deal, they will have to be especially nice to us. And further, it would also place a direct duty on EU member states to control the excesses of those talking about naval engagements where fishing is concerned. But so far, all I've heard from Eurocrats are demands that the UK cooperates with the EU in our own demise. Let's hope the EU learns to be a bit more neighbourly in future. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below, and support me on Patreon or PayPal. So what do you think about all this fishing stuff? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching.